witnessed the shocking defeat of the U.S. 7th Cavalry Regiment at the hands of the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes in 1876, led by Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull. The Battle of Little Bighorn was fought on the 25th of June 1876, near the Little Bighorn River in Montana Territory. The U.S. 7th Cavalry Regiment, led by Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, was vastly outnumbered by the Native American forces. Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull led the combined forces of the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes, totaling around 8,000 warriors. The Native American tribes were aware of the approaching cavalry and prepared an ambush, using the terrain to their advantage. The battle lasted only about an hour, resulting in the deaths of Custer and over 260 of his men, with only one confirmed Native American casualty. Get an inside look at the conservation efforts to save the Sumatran rhino, one of the most endangered species in the world, with fewer than 80 individuals remaining in the wild. The Sumatran rhino is one of the most endangered species in the world, with fewer than 80 individuals remaining in the wild. Sumatran rhinos are found only in Indonesia, specifically in the mountainous forests of Sumatra. These rhinos are the smallest of all rhino species, with adults reaching only about 3 to 4 feet in height. Sumatran rhinos are herbivores, feeding on over 100 different species of plants, including leaves, fruits, and twigs. Conservation efforts include captive breeding programs, habitat protection, and relocation of individuals to safer areas. Uncover the secrets behind the sailing stones of Death Valley, which move across the dry lake bed, leaving trails behind them, and learn about the specific conditions required for this phenomenon to occur, including strong winds and ice formation. Death Valley's sailing stones move across dry lake beds, leaving trails, puzzling scientists for decades. The stones, also called sliding rocks, weigh up to 700 pounds, yet move mysteriously. Strong winds over 60 miles per hour are required to move the stones, but that's not the only factor. Ice formation on the lake bed surface is crucial, as it reduces friction, allowing stones to slide. When ice melts, it creates a slippery surface, enabling stones to move up to 200 feet. Witness the most astonishing records in music. The Beatles hold the record for the most #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Michael Jackson's Thriller is the best-selling music video of all time, with over 650 million views. Bob Dylan's Highway 61 Revisited is widely considered one of the greatest albums in music history. The Guinness World Record for the longest-running music chart is held by the Billboard Hot 100. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody is the most streamed song from the 20th century, with over 1 billion streams. Elvis Presley is often called the King of Rock and Roll, with over 650 million records sold worldwide. Uncover the harrowing tale of the USS Indianapolis, a U.S. Navy cruiser torpedoed and sunk by a Japanese submarine in 1945, leaving nearly 900 crew members stranded in shark-infested waters. The USS Indianapolis was a U.S. Navy cruiser that played a crucial role in the Allied victory in World War II. In July 1945, the Indianapolis was torpedoed and sunk by a Japanese submarine while en route to the Philippines. Of the nearly 1,200 crew members on board, approximately 900 survived the initial sinking, only to face a new horror. Stranded in shark-infested waters, the survivors waited for rescue, with many succumbing to drowning, dehydration, and shark attacks. The USS Indianapolis was not reported missing for 4 days, and a rescue operation was not launched until 5 days after the sinking. Find out how Stranger Things broke multiple viewing records on Netflix, including the most-watched series in a single weekend, and what this means for the future of the show. Stranger Things 4 premiered with 286 million hours viewed, a new Netflix record. The show broke the record for most-watched series in a single weekend, with 335 million hours viewed. Season 4's first episode became the most-watched Netflix episode in a single day, with 52.6 million views. Stranger Things 4 was the first English-language series to reach 1 billion hours viewed in a single month. The show's record-breaking views led to a 25% increase in Netflix subscriptions during the quarter. Stranger Things has become Netflix's most-watched original series of all time, with over 1.3 billion hours viewed. Learn about the lesser-known works of Leonardo da Vinci, including The Virgin of the Rocks, and The Last Supper, which were lost or damaged over time. Leonardo da Vinci created over 20 known paintings, but many more were lost or destroyed over time. The original, The Virgin of the Rocks, was sold to a French king and is now lost, with only copies remaining. Da Vinci's The Last Supper began to deteriorate just a few decades after its completion due to experimental techniques. One of Da Vinci's lost works, Leda and the Swan, was described by contemporaries as his most erotic painting. The Battle of Anghiari, a mural by Da Vinci, was destroyed during a palace renovation in the 16th century. Uncover the story of port wine's origins in the Douro Valley, from its 17th century beginnings to its modern-day production methods and distinctive flavor profile. Port wine originated in the Douro Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Portugal. In the 17th century, British merchants added brandy to still fermenting wine to preserve it for export. The Douro Valley's unique terroir, with schist soil and hot summers, contributes to port's distinctive flavor. There are 4 main types of port: ruby, tawny, white, and vintage, each with its own aging process. The traditional method of foot-treading grapes in granite tanks is still used in some port wine production. Aged port wine can last for decades, with some vintages improving in flavor over 50 years or more. Witness the most epic comebacks in rugby history, including the All Blacks' 2007 win over France and Ireland's 2018 defeat of the Springboks. Rugby's greatest comebacks often involve dramatic turnarounds in the final quarter of the game. The All Blacks' 2007 win over France saw them overcome an 18-point deficit with 20 minutes remaining. Ireland's 2018 defeat of the Springboks was their first ever win on South African soil, after trailing 13-8 at halftime. The 1995 Rugby World Cup final saw the Springboks come back from 12-3, down to win 15-12 inches extra time. In 2019, Wales staged a stunning comeback against England, overcoming a 10-point deficit with 20 minutes left to win 21-13. These epic comebacks showcase rugby's unique blend of physicality, strategy, and mental toughness. NASA uses zippers on astronaut suits to ensure safety and functionality in extreme conditions. Explore more surprising uses of zippers beyond fashion. NASA's astronaut suits rely on zippers for safety and functionality in extreme space conditions. Zippers on spacesuits help maintain internal pressure and prevent decompression. Astronauts' gloves have zippers to make it easier to put them on and take them off. The zippers used in spacesuits are custom-made to withstand extreme temperatures. Zippers are also used in other space equipment, like storage bags and sleeping bags. The use of zippers in space exploration highlights their versatility beyond fashion applications.